Welcome back to Howling Around. If you're a guy on dating apps and you're barely getting matches, this episode is for you. I'm not talking bad conversations, I'm not even talking ghosting. I mean, you barely get a chance. Most men don't fail on dating apps because they don't know what to say, for instance, but they fail because no woman ever stops long enough to care. And that's a profile problem. They set up a profile, they swipe for weeks, sometimes months, and barely anything happens. Maybe you get a match here and there, sure, but no momentum. Maybe some flaking going on, some ghosting, and whatnot, but no conversations and no actual dates. So, what do a lot of these guys do? Well, they assume the problem must be the app for sure. The app is rigged against them. The top 1% or the top 5% get all the women. Sure, that must be the problem. Or maybe it's women's standards. They want six figures and a six pack and all the sixes. Surely that must be it. Or maybe it's just bad luck. But in most cases, the profile already failed long before any woman even thought about messaging you or swiping right on you. A dating profile doesn't fail because of, for instance, bad conversation. It fails because it never earns the attention in the first place. Before any woman wonders what it would be like to talk to you, their brain makes a faster decision. Do I stop scrolling or not? Do I continue swiping or not? And most profiles don't pass that moment. Not because the guy is unattractive, absolutely not. Not because he's boring in real life, no, but because the profile doesn't communicate anything clear, anything specific, or even engaging. And let's keep it real, a dating profile has one job and one job only, and that is to interrupt the swiping or to interrupt the scroll. It needs to interrupt whatever the woman is doing. That's it. The first big mistake is being neutral, being safe or inoffensive. I'm not saying go all out on the offensive and, make a crazy profile. But guys think that if they avoid standing out, they'll avoid rejection. But neutral profiles don't get rejected, they get ignored. If your profile could belong to almost anyone, then it belongs to no one. It should be your profile. Photos where you're standing stiff, smiling politely, looking like you're waiting for instructions, that doesn't do the trick. Bios that say nothing more than I like travel, food, and hanging out with friends, that doesn't give her a reason to stop. There's nothing to react to. Dating apps reward clarity, not politeness. Whatever the message is that you're sending, it should be clear. The second way profiles fail is by overloading information. Extremely long bios, lists of hobbies, life stories, explanations of who you are and what you're looking for. That doesn't create interest, it creates work. No one, no woman, no guy wants homework before deciding whether you're worth a swipe. Curiosity dies when everything is explained up front. Your profile should open a door, not try to finish the conversation. Another major problem is photos that don't show anything real. Either they're blurry and low effort or they're overly posed and stiff. In both cases, they don't answer a question that really matters. What would it feel like to spend time with this person? That's what she's wondering. If your photos don't show energy, presence, or, a real moment, her brain doesn't engage with that. And when the brain doesn't engage, there's no match, no message, no nothing. Nothing is going to happen. Then there's inconsistency. Your photos suggest one thing, your bio suggests another. Your prompts add nothing at all. That creates uncertainty, and we know how uncertainty works. Uncertainty is where interest dies, where comfort dies. Women don't interact with profiles they can't quickly understand. If someone has to decode your vibe, guess your intention, or figure out what you're about, she'll move on. Not because you're bad, maybe not even because you're bad looking or not a fun person, but because clarity is missing. Here's something most guys don't realize. You're not competing against better profiles. You're competing against scrolling. That's why small details matter more than a lot of us guys think. One strong photo, one specific line, one detail that feels human instead of generic. Another mistake is trying to look impressive instead of relatable. Listing achievements, credentials, or ambitions without warmth, it creates distance. It signals performance and it doesn't really signal personality. Attraction doesn't come from proving value, it comes from signaling presence. The profiles that work aren't the ones that say the most, not even, but they're the ones that say something clear. Clarity is important. It states clear energy, clear tone, clear direction. And finally, most profiles fail because they're built without intention. Guys upload whatever photos they have, write something quick, and hope the app does the rest. That's not how it works. And when it doesn't work, they blame the platform. Dating apps won't fix weak presentation. They amplify it though. A strong profile isn't luck, it's design. If you're not getting matches, it's not because you don't know what to say, it's because your profile never earned the chance to speak. If you want better results on dating apps, stop obsessing over things like openers. Fix what women see before you even talk. Because most dating profiles don't fill in the conversation, they fill before the first message even exists. Hope these tips were helpful, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Bye bye.